It's January, and that means a new ban list is on the horizon. So I'm going to go into predictions, what I think needs to be banned, and then things that I hope are banned for the health of the game. So number one. First up on what I think needs to happen and what I think will happen is Sky Striker Mobilize Engage to 1. This card should not be allowed to exist, given that it's not once per turn. You can put it in anything and it's equally powerful. It's a free pot of greed, except you're also getting a search. It's ridiculous. Needs to go to 1. Up next, Hornet Drones. If they don't ban Engage, they have to ban this card, because if they ban this card, the engine isn't as splashable. And I want to stress that it is not as splashable. But yeah. Up next, follow suit with the OCG and limit Thunder Dragon Colossus to 1. It is too easy to summon. It is too good. Its search restriction kills so many decks so easily. Just needs to go to 1. The deck is still playable. The deck is still strong. It'll be fine at 1. Now on to Orcust and Orchestrated Babble. This card is the reason Orcust feels so unfair, as they are able to do everything on their turn and then on your turn, and you pretty much have no chance to do anything if they get set up. So if this card is hit, the deck will still function normally on their turn, just not your opponent's. Up next is cards like There Could Be Only One. These type of cards require no skill to use, and they pretty much game end for your opponent most of the time. And don't tell me that control decks need them, because that's bullshit. Guru Control is a control deck. When you have to time when you're going to use its effects and final battle and things like that. There is no timing, there is no skill involved with flipping over There Can Be Only One. And if your opponent somehow outs it, you just flip over another one, and then they're still screwed. It's unbalanced. They don't need to be banned, but something needs to be done about the sheer number of these type of cards that you're allowed to play in a single deck. Maybe by limiting several of them to 1, or semi-limiting several of them to 2 will help. I have a lot to say about this next one, Tempest Magician. Cards like this that enable FTKs should not exist. FTKs are bullshit. They're not a fair strategy. It's completely degenerate, and none of this stuff should ever be allowed to stay in the game. And if you play these type of strategies, you are an asshole. So that is what I think needs to happen in order for the metagame to actually change and see some growth and get away from Orcust Sky Striker in literally everything and nothing else gets a chance to play. Now you might think it's weird that I'm not putting on in this next part of the list, which is things that I think need to be banned in advance of the new Master Rule. You might be thinking, why is there no Instant Fusion? Why is there no Super Poly on this list? Because you need Super Poly. For the crazy boards that are coming, you're gonna need Super Poly. And Instant Fusion is a totally fair card. It's targets that are not, if you think it's not fair, it's targets that are not fair. Now saying, ooh, Millenniumize Restrict is unfair. I think that's bullcrap. So what? You can't hand trap your opponent to death for once. You still have impermanence. You still have all these other cards that can do just the same. And it only protects you once. So I don't buy that as a valid argument. Although Millenniumize Restrict is a very powerful card, it does not make Instant Fusion ban-worthy under the new Master Rule. It does not make itself ban-worthy under the new Master Rule. However, these cards are a problem. Utopic Zexal, or any card like it. This card is already possible to be made very easily under the new Six Samurai deck, and any card that says your opponent cannot activate cards is bullshit. This shouldn't be allowed to be in the game, and it's just going to be a lot easier under the new format. Another way to stop your opponent from playing the game is hand looping them. Your turn goes on forever, and cards like Trishula enable that, and it should be banned. If not limited to 1, so at least they can't cheese you completely. You might want to throw any card that can do this, and probably Hyper Librarian needs to be limited to 1 as well. This card by itself, Hot Red Archfiend of All Calamities, is not a problem. It is a problem under the new Master Rule once Needle Fiber comes out, and you can just synchro summon it to the field on your opponent's turn, and they are not able to do anything. This is not fair, it should not be allowed to happen, and it's way too easy under the new master rule. Last but not least, 2 quick things. Number 1, sorry for the low quality images. I'm just trying to pump out a lot of videos for when I'm gone for regionals. I won't be able to record, so I want to get some stuff in advance, because when I come back, I'm also going to be very busy. And 2 cards I would like to come off the ban list at 1, Double Iris Magician and Astrograph Sorcerer. Those are very self-serving wants. I don't think it's going to happen, especially not Astrograph, but Double Iris, maybe. By the time this goes up, I will be at regionals competing, and wish me luck in the comments below, and let me know what you think is going to happen on the ban list.